Hi guys, Brain here. Welcome to another video. I just wanted to talk about something today that I feel like is just something that kind of feel like pervasively affects the DBD community, and something that a lot of people do that I find just kind of very generally annoying that people do. And it's every single time a chapter comes out, everybody is already placing the brand new killer in a tier list. Like day one of the PTB, we're placing the character in the tier list. So obviously this is really dumb, because the way a character is and acts and functions is probably not going to be the same as when they hit live servers, hence why it's a player test beta, because they're going to adjust some things before that character goes live. So that is not a good way to measure them, like, at all. That's not how they're going to remain when they hit live servers. So putting them on a tier list and saying they're better than A character or they're worse than B character is already kind of like a pointless endeavor. But I want to go even further than that and argue that, like, I don't even think people have the info and the experience to even remotely be able to place a character day one of their release. And the fact that people kind of like pervasively do this across the DVD community, like it freaks me out. It's like, how do you think that within less than 24 hours, you were able to effectively deduce the strength of a character and put them squarely in a tier list and see how good they are? I think it's never bad to have impressions of like a character and kind of get a general idea of their strength. Like, for example, Wesker, I can already tell it's a pretty good character. Like, he has map mobility, he has a little bit of anti-chase, even if it's not crazy. He has like a hindered effect built in base kit. Like, he's got a lot going on that makes him pretty good. Like, I can tell he's probably going to be A or B tier. He may be a little bit higher or a little bit lower, a little margin of error, but he's going to be generally good. And I can see that just because I've played the game a long time and kind of see like the markings and the qualities and traits that this character has and go, that seems pretty good, or that seems not so good. But I think the problem is a lot of people like to very prominently state a character is good or bad, like in PTB or when they like initially release. And there's a lot of factors that go into that people don't think about. It leads to these really awkward situations. And I think a good example of this is Sadako. When Sadako first came out, a lot of people put her in like upper C, B tier. Some people were even putting her in low A. They thought like Eerie Tape was super strong. They thought that her condemnation was super strong. They thought that her stealth was pretty good. A lot of people like felt very highly about Sadako. And a lot of that had to do with the fact that she was just kind of fun to play, and still is, even though she's not that strong. So a lot of people just kind of like were high on Sadako and thought Sadako was great. They thought she was going to be a very nice competitive killer. Not for like comp, but you know, like she was going to be good in pubs. But as time went on, as people kept playing the game, they realized that Sadako, besides shifting in and out of her invisibility, really had nothing in the way of anti-chase whatsoever. She basically had no way to circumvent chase. So before the killer mid chapter, when Shift W was even stronger, people found out that if you just pre-drop a pallet against a Sadako, there's kind of basically nothing she can do about it. There's really nothing Sadako can do against a pre-dropped pallet. She can run up to it and fake breaking it using her little animation that she does, because her manifest animation is almost the same as her pallet break animation. But other than that, she really doesn't have anything she can do to like mind game a pallet or do anything special with the pallet. So people caught on to that and started just like, whenever a Sadako match got even slightly sketchy, they just start pre-dropping all the pallets because they know she quite literally can't do anything about it, like at all. And they found out as well that if you want to do a gen in an area near a TV, you can just turn off the TV. You can just take the videotape out, go put it somewhere else, and then you can do whatever gen you need to do, or clear an area that she might be like coming back to proxy a hook from across the map using her teleport. Like, people found out a lot of things that just kind of like very easily shut this character down. And nowadays, most people put her in like low C tier. Some people are even more some people are even more pessimistic and put her in like D tier. So she ended up being one of the weaker characters in the game But because people wanted to, like, you know, get their opinions out there and immediately, like, elbow drop and be like, I know exactly what, I know everything about this character, and then make their tier lists, they put her, like, way too high than what she realistically was. And that's because they were so impatient with, she had not been out long enough for people to find her counterplay, because her counterplay is super, super strong. The counterplay against Sadako is super, super, super detrimental to the character. Like, it really, really shuts her down. And because they just wanted to put out their tier list way too early, they hadn't given the community enough time to find out this stuff. And I don't know. Maybe it's just, like, there's no problem, I guess, in, like, discussing a character's potential strength. Like I said at the beginning of this video, like, I think Wesker's going to be A or B tier. He might be S. I could be wrong. But there also might be something really, like, huge in the way of counterplay that makes him high C or low B. I don't know, because, like, he's not going to be the same when he releases, and even then, we have to wait for people to figure out how to counterplay him. But to just audaciously, like, come in day one and be like, yeah, he's better than Blight. Like, I had people unironically telling me he was better than Blight. Like, he was already, like, better than the second best character in the game, which put him, and I asked him, like, what? How's that put you? That puts him right up there with Nurse. That makes him, like, right below Nurse. You think he's just as good as Nurse, or right below Nurse? Like, that is a very audacious claim to make. Very, very audacious claim to make when the character hadn't even been out 24 hours at that point. I spent a lot of time while playing the PTB on Tuesday, just, like, people just kind of, like, spouting their opinions about, like, oh, well, he's S tier. He's the second best. He's better than Spirit. He's better than Blight. And it's like, how do you know that? How can you know that when he's not even out yet? Like, how do you know? And I wish people would just pump the brakes. Listen, I know the cynical and probably honest answer is that people, A, like to feel smart, and B, content creators make a lot of, like, literally attention and money off of hot takes and just saying stuff without thinking about it, and just kind of, like, you know, getting stuff out there quicker than the next guy, even if the quality itself is not good. It's like quantity over quality, which I say on a daily upload channel, but I just like talking about the game, okay? All right. But people worry about quality over, or quantity over quality. They want it out quickly, they want it out fast, they want to make a lot of videos about it, and they don't really care about, like, accuracy or if the quality's, or if the content's even good. They just want to get that out as soon as possible, get people riled up, get more eyes on the product, so on and so forth. So I know realistically those are probably the biggest two reasons. It's like people's egos and content creators trying to, like, farm interaction. But it's still just like, it's like when people start like regurgitating that stuff, and they come into, like, my chat or come to my YouTube and be like, no. Bob Scott 39 said that Wesker is better than Nurse, and then I have to, like, argue with that person just because some content creator couldn't, like, hold off on making this crazy statement. Like, it's just frustrating. It's annoying. So yeah. Why do you think people try to make tier list placements so early? Do you think it's the reasons I talked about, where it's like ego and content creator farming, or do you have something else on your mind that you think probably is the bigger reason? Let me know down in the comments below. But on that, it's gonna be it for today's video, friends. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you hopefully in tomorrow's video, but if I don't, I'll see you when I see you, buds. Goodbye.